All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're unpacking a really important document, India's ambitious new blueprint for governing artificial intelligence.
The whole starting point for this framework is just how fast everything is moving. The document itself says AI is advancing at an unprecedented pace. And that's no exaggeration. This isn't some science fiction idea anymore. It's here, and it's changing, like every single day.
And that speed? It creates this massive puzzle, one that governments all over the world are trying to figure out. I mean, how in the world do you build guardrails for technology that is, for all intents and purposes, still under construction? It's like trying to draw a map for a country while the ground is still forming. That's the fundamental challenge India is tackling here.
To really get their approach, we have to first look at the core of the problem, what the framework calls the dual-use dilemma of AI.
And this really lays out the stakes perfectly, doesn't it? On one hand, you have this incredible promise. AI as a driver for huge economic growth, for amazing scientific progress, and for building a more inclusive society. But on the other side, the danger is just as real. We're talking deepfakes flooding us with misinformation, algorithms that are biased, and totally new kinds of threats to national security.
So the framework uses a really powerful term for this, dual-use technology. Just think about something like nuclear energy. It's not automatically good or bad, right? Its impact depends completely on how we decide to use it. The argument here is that AI is exactly the same kind of beast. Okay, so, faced with that dilemma, what's India's vision? Well, it's not just about the tech. It's way bigger. It's a mission for over 1 billion people, all centered around this philosophy of AI for all. And the ambition here is just massive. The plan directly ties AI to the national goal of becoming a developed nation, or Viksit Bharat, by the year 2047. So AI isn't just some cool tech trend. It's seen as a critical tool, a force multiplier to actually achieve that long-term vision. And look, this isn't just wishful thinking. India is building on a track record of some incredibly successful large-scale tech projects. Think about their digital public infrastructure, or DPI, things like the Aadhaar identity system or the UPI payments network that completely changed the game. The goal now is to do the exact same thing with AI, to democratize its benefits for everyone under this AI for all banner.
And AI for all isn't just a catchy slogan. It's about using this tech to solve real-world problems for every single citizen. We're talking about things like AI-powered diagnostics in rural health clinics, or personalized education that's delivered to students in their own local language. It's about tangible, on-the-ground impact.
So how do you even begin to guide an undertaking this huge? Well, the framework lays out a philosophical foundation, which it calls the 7 Guiding Sutras.
7 core principles. Think of these as the threads that are woven through every single part of this entire governance plan. So this whole philosophy breaks down into 7 key ideas. It all starts with trust. That's the absolute foundation. Then it's about putting people first. A big one is number 3, innovation over restraint. Then you've got ensuring fairness and equity, establishing clear accountability, making sure systems are understandable by design, no black boxes. And finally, it's all about safety, resilience, and sustainability. These are basically the decision-making criteria for India's entire AI future. Okay, so that's the philosophy, but how do you actually turn those big ideas into practice? That's where the 6-pillar action plan comes in.
The key idea here is what's called a whole-of-government approach. This isn't just one ministry's problem to solve. It's going to take a totally coordinated effort across the entire government to build this future, making sure everyone is pulling in the same direction.
And that effort is built around 6 main pillars. First, you've got to build the core infrastructure, like the computing power. Then, there's capacity building, getting the population skilled up. All of this is supported by smart policy and regulation, a proactive focus on risk mitigation, clear accountability, and finally, setting up the right institutions to oversee the whole thing.
What's really crucial here is that this isn't all happening at once. The plan actually lays out a super clear, phased roadmap. In the short term, the focus is on getting institutions up and running and getting companies to make voluntary commitments. Then, in the medium term, it shifts to publishing standards and updating laws. And for the long term, the goal is to review the whole framework and draft new laws as the technology and the risks continue to evolve.
So, when you put it all together, what's the core idea that emerges? It's this search for a balanced path forward. You want to fuel innovation, but you also have to demand accountability. And let's be absolutely clear. The number one goal, in the government's own words, is overwhelmingly positive. It is to leverage AI for economic growth, inclusive development, resilience, and global competitiveness. This is, at its heart, a pro-innovation stance. So how are they going to regulate it? Well, here's the critical distinction they're making. The focus is on governing the applications of AI, so how it's used in things like healthcare or finance. What they are explicitly not trying to do is govern the underlying technology itself. This is a deliberate choice to avoid choking off research and development before it even gets started.
So the big takeaway is this. India is putting forward a framework that's designed to be balanced, agile, and flexible. The idea is to go full steam ahead on grabbing all the benefits of AI, while building in the ability to step in and manage risks as they pop up.
And that leaves us with a final, pretty fascinating question. As India pioneers this unique approach, one that's built on its incredible experience with digital public infrastructure, you can bet the rest of the world will be watching. Can one nation's framework, designed for 1 billion people, actually offer a guide for a technology that is, in every sense of the word, global?